Okay, so let's talk about a problem dot that is called flood fill. Suppose you have given a point. I say 0 comma 0. Okay, and you have a 4 by 4 grid. 4 by 4 grid. 4 grid. So if you are stand at 0 comma 0 and I needed all the paths to travel from 4 comma 0 comma 0 to 4 comma 4. So by looking at the problem, intuition will come like suppose I start from 0 comma 0 and call 0 comma 1 its neighbor 0 comma 1 and to get all the paths from to go to 4 comma 4 and 0 comma 1 calls 0 comma 2. So like in that fashion everyone will call itself and everyone will have the answers. So ultimately 0 comma 0 going to get the answer. So a intuition of recursion is can be seen from here. So how many calls I can make from 0 comma 0? Maximum at maximum from any point 8 calls can be given. That 8 calls I have written here. These are the 8 calls. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8. So if I start from 0 comma 0, so if I start from 0 comma 0, how many calls I can make? Mostly I can make call here, I can make call here, and I can make call here. So I can call from 0 0 to 0 comma 1, 1 comma 1, and 1 comma 0. Can I make calls minus 1 comma 0? It is not possible in the grid. So I have to take care of it in the grid where I can move and where I cannot move. Okay, so these are the consideration. Now also a one more consideration comes. Suppose I am on 0 comma 0. Okay, I make a call for 0 comma 1 and then 0 comma 1 can make calls back to 0 comma 0. So ultimately what will happen? One day it may call, one time it call here, another time it calls his him. So ultimately there will be form a circular loop and recursion will be failed or we are going to get TLE, time limit exceed, because it is not going to give any result. So we have to also take care of it. Okay, so let's come to the coding part. Okay, so I have made code earlier, so I will tell about the code. So firstly I made a function called floodfill which returns the long type and which handles the two vectors. Mage and VIS, which holds the record of which grade I have traveled or which grade I have not traveled. And I and J are the runner for X and runner for Y. So, so firstly, I start when I come to the 4 comma 4. When I come to 4 comma 4, so I will get a solution. So it will come in my base case. Okay. So my base case will be when I equal to 4 or maze dot size minus 1 and then j equal to maze dot size minus 1, then I will ultimately return my 1. And for holding the answers or the count, I have made a variable c, and these are my direction vectors which I made array. So these you can see from paint here also: 1 comma 0, 1 comma 1, 0 comma 1, minus 1 comma 1, minus 1 comma 0, minus 1 comma minus 1, 0 comma minus 1, and 1 comma minus 1. Okay, so I will made a for loop and start from 0 to the rightmost index of the move. So suppose I will be on 0, so x will be my 0, I will be my 0, and I made a comma 0 means I add 1 in it, and for the j I add 1. So ultimately I move from 0 comma 0 to 0 comma 1. And after that I have also made a check of I and j that they are within the grid or not. If they are within the grid, then I will make further calls for it. If they are not within the grid, then I will not make the calls. Suppose from 0 comma 0 I can make the 8 calls, but only the 3 calls are valid. So I have to make a check of it also. So this is the check for in the grid. And after that, when I reach a grid, first thing I have to do is make the true or mark it as that I have come to that grid. So I will true it and call the match path or flood fill for from that point. So in that way I will get my answers. So what will happen is when we are on 0 comma 0, it will make calls, 3 calls for 0 comma 1, 1 comma 0, and 1 comma 1. Then 0 comma 1 makes another calls that are feasible for it. So like that they will make calls and a tree will formed like that. So when they reach the 4 comma 4, they will return their answers, and like that they from there it will get returned to another one, like that it will return to the 0 comma 0. And what I am doing, 4 comma 4 is giving 1. So what I have done is I have got one path, so that one will become from there, from another one come from another call, like that how many ones I call I will ultimately add these ones. So this is what I generally doing. I have written c equal to c plus fill. Okay, so like that. I can run and show the answer also. So for the 4 comma 4, I am getting my answer 21. That's all. Thank you.